Welcome back to class, everybody. So from this point on, we will do the practice tests. Test your skill in a battle against new, tougher students. So the first we have Pokemaniac Joseph. So the students are eager to try out the battles on the way. Yeah. If you can't tell the difference between a real status problem and one that's only similar, you'll never beat me.
There's actually no real difference
between
the poison status and the paralyzer. You imbecile, you fucking moron.
Remember for these battles, you are stuck with the Pokemon Earl gives you. Normally status problems do not double up. However, I imagine you have experienced situations in which a Pokemon suffers from more than one kind of status problem. Status problems can be largely... Yeah, we already read this. Basically the game will even give you a hint to what to the specific lesson that applies to this specific battle, just as a little reminder. In case you need one. So basically, if you need a reminder of what specifically are about status effects, it's right there on the hint. So let's do it. Do you know that there are conditions that are similar to status problems? Alright.
Pokemon trainer students.
Alright, so...
Our name is students, apparently. We don't actually have any.
So the first thing you better to do is check your Pokemon to see which moves they have, so you know what will be the best Pokemon to use according to the strategy that is necessary to beat Joseph. So, let's see. Lantern has Attract, Confuse Ray, and Waterfall. Okay. And Executor has Stun Sport, Toxic, and... Wow, Executor's moves suck. Okay, well, at least Ghastly has Hypnosis and Dream Eater, that's at the very least something. Alright, I guess, Attract, Confuse, Ray, Waterfall. Yeah, basically, you have to make you have to take a good thinking here, because again, when you do both this and the Challenge Cup, which is a tournament that gives you random Pokemon, and you have to make do with those Pokemon, make sure you take a good look at the moves that the Pokemon you were given have, so you can properly... Again, that's the basic challenge of something like this, plus the Challenge Cup. Instead of forming your own team, the game gives you a team, and you have to basically improvise and, you know, do the best with what you had, basically. Also, Raichu as Sweet Kiss. I didn't even know Raichu could learn Sweet Kiss. But whatever.
Not too surprising.
Guess he has the equipment for it.
I guess.
Literal lips.
It's like having Gyarados, you learning fly.
Alright, so one of the cool things about the Pokémon Stadium matches is Ted Lewis, aka Giovanni's voice actor, as the announcer of the battles, and he will commentate on everything that happens, and it makes the battles all the more enjoyable. Because Ted Lewis's delivery is quite memorable because of the various phrases he gives. Alright, so first...
Listen to those cheers coming from the Kingdom Hearts audience.
I have to say, for a Nintendo 64 game, visually this game aged rather nicely, I will say. I mean, the character models look good still, like they're very clearly defined and look like how they should.
Give them credit, they also made a specific field for the classroom as well.
Well, this was this was literally when Pokemon was at the peak of its popularity. Back then, Pokemon was like at the height of its, you know, of like Fuck. Alright, so basically I decided to attract him to Lantern, since the sampler is female. And now Confuse Ray. There you go.
You know, speaking of Pokemon, I wonder if we're ever gonna handle that Pokemon Snap sequel.
Well, eventually at some point I'll do it at some point. I mean, I read the original, so might as well.
I know that the Pokemon Snap sequel is definitely something that people wanted.
Me included. The reason I went for this game this time is because these games barely, if at all, get talked about nowadays. You know?
Really? I mean, okay, I've seen my fair share of talk about Pokemon Stadium.
If anything, they get talked a lot about just for the whole argument about animations of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is actually a point. Yes, it's a cliche thing to say, but it does kind of bear repeating. Yeah, it is kind of embarrassing how there are quite a lot of really good battle animations in this game in comparison to Sword and Shield. That's kind of sad. There you go, see? Waterfall. There you go. The basic gist of it, of this battle, as you can see, is basically just use status effects to your advantage. There you go. And Stantler kills himself. Or herself, rather. Whoa, wow, you're really not bad.
The next Pokemon needs to be prepared. Oh, it's Kangaskhan.
Have you ever seen a Kangaskhan that can do this move?
There's also a lot, considering again, there's a lot of combinations of stuff that has to be enunciated. They recorded quite a lot of voice lines for this.
Yeah.
Which, again, Nintendo 64 could not handle, not handle, but could not contain as much data as a PS1 disc. So a lot of games had to cheapen out on the side and like cut FMVs or use
the
voice acting. But there it is.
that's the interesting thing too. Like at the title screen of both games, it even says right there, voice compression technology by Factor 5. So apparently they hired some kind of third-party company to handle the voice compression.
Yeah, this is actually kind of an exception. I can tell you one thing, because I discovered this recently. In my country, this actually is voice acting in my language, surprisingly enough. Sadly, it was at a time, I think it was, done by someone who did not have much experience either with the games nor the anime, because the announcer, aside from being corny as fuck in the enunciation, gets the name completely wrong, and it's kind of hilarious.
That's kind of weird. I mean, you'd think he would just dub what Ted Lewis says.
That's the thing. In terms of, performance, tries to do that, but no, for some reason he reads the names in a particular manner. Like,
Is it like on the level of 4Kids calling Cypher Alakazam?
No, that's getting the name completely wrong. I'm talking about putting the accent of on a vowel or, reading said vowel in a specific way. For example, Cubone, it gets read as Cabone instead. Which very people in my country argue it might be the correct pronunciation instead, because it's supposed to be a cub, it has stuff like bone, while there's nothing cubic about it. But again,
Nintendo have never really gone against.
Even in general, if it's pronounced the dead way officially, sadly I just have to stick with it.
Given how Nintendo definitely have not corrected the actual pronunciation of Cubone, which has very much been a thing in the dub, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that that's how it's meant to be pronounced.
But also, I will also, for a specification, because I don't know how much I've actually said it, but my country is one of the few who actually in Europe, when it comes to Europe, who do not rename the Pokemon and just stick to the version that are named in English. The only time we ever did that is with Type Null in Gen 7, because that apparently had to be specified, in how the Pokemon is called. But otherwise, just stick with that, unlike, say, France and Germany.
Both me and my brother grew up with this duology, so every time we're watching one or the other play a Pokemon game, we love to, just to repeat Ted Lewis's line. Like, for example, every time one of the many lines Ted Lewis says in this game is the announcer, if you produce an attack that deals a lot of damage, he will go kaplow, major damage. There you go. And yeah, they also record alternate lines, so it's not like every time a Pokemon falls asleep, he only just says, "It's fast as it fell asleep." No, there actually are alternate lines for specific actions, to be fair. I think it's like 2, maybe 3 tops. So they did, like you said, they did get Ted Lewis in a booth to record a lot of lines, yes.
And they did manage to compress them enough. The only other major exceptions that I can think of is the port of Resident Evil 2, which did manage to keep the FMVs, and to this point nobody understands how they managed to pull it off.
What do you mean? Like, are you talking about how...
Remember, like you just said, Jova, because of being cartridge based and having to deal with deciding, or even with the expansion chip, for example, Nintendo 64 usually did not handle the FMVs, so usually those were even converted into steals or completely cut away.
Wow, my Pokemon
managed to actually.
You're terrible.
I was just doing what we asked.
You suddenly gave me a harsh lesson on Pokemon conditions. You have a beautiful knowledge of conditions that are similar to status problems. You get a gold star. So yeah, if you
haughty to being crying.
all right, Jova, please.
I shall lead with Murkow, then follow with Ghost Pokemon. How will you vanquish such a diabolical
Aren't you
team?
supposed to guard the tower where Ho-Ho resides?
Well, depends too. Like there are various kimono. That depends too. In the game, there are in Gen 2. There's actually quite a few kimono girls that don't necessarily work in the
I thought they
tower.
were just wearing the theater of, I forgot the name of the city.
This is her training.
It's kimono girl. I mean, kimono girl doesn't necessarily. I think you're thinking of
it's
Chandler.
a class, but I distinctly remember they were just exclusive for that place.
I think
You
you're.
does have a point. I don't recall Kimono Girl showing up any place other than that tower, but
Are you sure you're not
maybe
thinking of
again,
Chandler's?
This one's on break.
Well, whatever.
What was that?
Are you sure you're not thinking of Chandler's too?
I don't know. Again, just to mention, in Gen 2 and subsequently the remakes, they're the one that you had to face in order to get the approval
Alright.
to go challenge Ho-Ho.
Go ahead, Jova.
Uh-huh. My starting Pokemon will be Murkow, of course.
I think it's Murkrow, isn't it?
Yeah, Murkrow.
Murkrow.
Alright, yeah, so her strategy is that she first sends Murkrow in, and then uses Ghost Pokemon, even though Macargo is in there.
Just the one out.
Okay, so let's take a look at Pokemon that can deal on their own against Dark and Ghost Pokemon. Let's see. Poliwrath has
Okay,
shit
so-
moves. Yes, Jova?
So looking it up on Bulbapedia, it appears that in the original Gen 2 game, yeah, they're pretty much just in Ekrutiak City, you know, for the Ekrutak dance and guarding the bell tower and all
And if I
that.
recall correctly, the
It's
gimmick
in-
is that each of them has one particular evolution.
Well, how about this? We'll go with Jova's theory. She's on her day off or something.
Vacation, sure.
Break, yeah. Yeah. Now it's in Heart Gold and Soul Silver where their roles are expanded, but
Ah, okay,
yeah,
so
no.
that's what I remember. Yeah, okay.
Also, Dweebs, Macargo, I forgot. From which Pokemon does it evolve?
Ah,
Pokemon 3?
I forgot.
Macargo, from which Pokemon does it evolve?
Macargo?
It's a Gen 2 Pokemon, Dubs.
I've never come across that one.
Wait, really? You know the slime lava snail
only-
Pokemon?
The only Gen 2 I've played in full really was the version from Gen 4, and I swear I never come across it.
Whatever. Anyway, it evolves from a Slugma to answer your question to you.
Thanks.
Go Primeape. Alright, might as well also say something, everybody, about the game itself. I'm emulating the game because remember, I recorded this before Nintendo announced they were putting these games on the Switch Online service, you know. So if you notice any slowdown, that's the emulator. The games themselves run just fine. So yeah, since Murkrow is Dark type, it can't really hold its own against Primeape. I mean, you probably should have told your Murkrow at least one flying move, honey.
That's also the weird thing, like, it's not weak, but it's also not resistant to fighting type because it's flying dark.
But yeah, this battle tests your usage of items. Fresh eventually gets your Pokemon confused, even if it's a powerful attack. However, since my Primeape has a Bitter Berry, he can just heal himself once, so I can do Fresh more often than you would normally. There you go. And down goes Murkrow.
That was a terrible performance.
What an eccentric performance.
No, that eccentric is terrible.
Gengar,
suck.
you're my choice.
Yeah, this game kind of tries to emulate the way they do things in the anime, where they have some kind of quote whenever they're sending off another Pokemon. You know, like sometimes.
If I recall correctly, starting with Gen 4, they will start incorporating those even in the fights, like even a mid-battle quote or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, Gen 5 does have them, but I forgot even Gen 4 does.
Uh-oh, Primaris is confused.
Oh no, an attack himself.
And it killed it.
What's he
Oh,
doing?
it's
Get out of there.
Primate, that's enough. Come back.
Come back, Primate, you junk.
Alright, let's go with
They're ready to go.
I mean, in a way, it kind of is.
Poliwhirl. Alright, so we have Belly Drum, Rest, and Mud Slap. So Belly Drum is a move that allows the user to consume half of its own HP in order to maximize attack.
I love how the sound font only slightly sounds inferior to the later DS games.
No, well, remember, Dubs, the Nintendo 64 had a really good sound chip that allowed for a lot of high quality music. So that's actually one of the selling points Nintendo had in the box back in the day. So, like they said, like CD quality audio or something along those lines.
I mean, a lot of tracks are fine, but I think a lot of them just sounded better on PlayStation purely because they have the CD advantage.
That's the thing with...
Not all of them, really.
It's not even a question of that. It was a pick your poison kind of thing because the Nintendo 64 had a much better that type of rendering the polygons more smooth that kind of way. While the PS1 had all them jagged. There's always that jagging that unless you're using an emulator you will always encounter when playing them. But the PlayStation compensated with a bigger capacity.
Yeah, Mud Slap is usually a weak move, but since I maximized my attack with Belly Drum, it's relatively useful right now. There you go. And again, this is a common thing in these games. Whenever a Pokemon gets to a point where it's like 2 hit points or 1 hit point away from he will say, it hung on by the skin of its teeth. Again, like one thing we should really do for Gen 10, we really need to let's bring back Ted Lewis to commentate on the matches. That would be so cool. Hashtag bring back the stadium announcer.
Go on, get out there.
Again, it's mostly because I generally do believe having an announcer makes the battles more lively because it makes it all the more entertaining because it adds an extra bit of liveliness to the whole thing. Think of it like the same way they did that joke in Metabots where the announcer always comes out of nowhere somehow every time there's a Metabot fight. So
I like with Fossil Fighters.
Or that too, sure.
Forgive me, it's showing its frustration.
So you're not a good trainer.
Yeah, she means the move frustration.
Okay. Headcanon. This is actually a prequel to Gen 2 before she becomes a more skilled kimono girl.
Probably.
I'm not talking about that. Remember, frustration is a move that increases its effectiveness if the Pokemon is not friendly towards you. So if you're a shit trainer towards your Pokemon, it will be rewarded by a bigger attack on that. That's what I meant.
Unless she's a metagamer and she intentionally made it that way so that the Pokemon would be frustrated.
Just leaves the necklace behind, Jesus.
Well, yeah.
Show that you have indeed killed it again.
Good thing we didn't get to see what a Spiritomb does under these conditions.
What should I do? My mother will be disappointed.
Maybe she's a kimono girl in training.
Using combinations of items and moves. My, that's wicked.
Using the grand victory on certain Pokemon items. Beautiful. Dwebs, you can be last, Tammy. Go on.
Okay then. I have dual-type Pokemon. Think you can pick on my weaknesses?
It's funny because in Gen 8, Lass is pretty much blatantly British.
Well, this is Gen 2, so I'm going for American. Here we go! Gyarados in the cock!
Ah, this is gonna be easy. Alright. So yeah, dual-type Pokemon.
Also, hello there, Mr. S-Student. My name is Sammy.
Alright, so we have a Maripa Thunderbolt, definitely bringing that one up. For some reason, Electabuzz only has Dynamic Punch. We also need a water.
You almost said Dynamax there.
We also need a water type move because the Macargo, of course, is super weak against water
I
moves.
only has a touch bomb for some reason.
Yeah. It's again, you can tell that the developers made this so that you have to carefully plan according to what limitations you have regarding the teams you're given. That's one of the core things that the Stadium 2 does. Like I said, they have an entire tournament called Challenge Cups based around that, where they just give you a pre-made team and you have to make do with that. You know, basically just try your best to do the best with what you got. So. Alright, and we'll take Mareep, Whooper, and Spinnerack.
This is the battle between the students of Earl's Pokémon Academy. The students begin battle with dreams of becoming respected Pokémon trainers.
Now, Macargo!
There you go, that's Macargo. Alright, so Macargo requires water, so let's just change to Whooper. I was hoping maybe she would bring out Gyarados first, but there you go.
Alas.
She pulled a Maverick move.
Of course, Earthquake.
Here's the first move. A light pass. What
Alright,
attack will this
Surf.
Pokémon switch have on the battle?
We only have one.
Wow!
That's what you had to say, announcer? Wow.
And
What else can
Bullseye.
you say?
He's
Wow.
Ted is blown away, Tail. He's speechless.
But it's a water type move, not flying.
Critical hit. It's not very effective. He said as it literally reduced Whooper down to literally only 10 health points left.
Well,
I
that's
do love those ironic moments where technically the move's not very effective, but it still sometimes absolutely mops the floor with an opponent.
for those who haven't seen it. I definitely recommend the channel made by a British YouTuber called Flandreau. He has a video where he played Gen 1 for the first time in 20 years, and it's just his Blastoise and an HEM slave. And he also makes that joke of the whole, not very effective when he defeats Erica with just Blastoise. Like, not very effective, my ass, look at this. So. Alright, so Gyarados is easy. A Thunderbolt should take him down.
The Pokémon emerges from its Pokéball.
Yeah, we know, announcer. Stop it.
2 Pokémon remain on each side. What's next?
Use Dragon Ray.
No damage.
Indeed. Alright, Marie, use Thunderbolt.
Oh no, I'm gonna be beaten by a sheep.
Meep, meep.
Not the weirdest thing to happen.
I think you mean Ba too? It's a sheep.
Viral videos, don't worry.
What now?
Yeah, for those who forgot, Dragon Rage always deals exactly 40 points of damage. So,
I never got the idea behind specific, specific damage moves. I'm not talking about Seismic Toss, which stuff like that is influenced by your level. That I actually understand. The one similar Sonic Boom and Dragon Rage, mostly because they usually come out in terms of being accessible or fighting against in the mid to late game usually. So by that point, most of your mons will have much more than the HP required for them to be kind of effective, in what they do. In early game, they will be devastating, definitely, but for when they show up, they kind of feel pointless, especially because they're not influenced by typing.
down goes Mareep.
Ding dong, it's dead.
Alright, let's use Spinnerack. It's Bug and Poison, so Entangle is only Grass type, so we're pretty much all set. Sludge Bomb. Wow, Spinnerack literally threw its shit at Tangela.
Hey, I'm pretty sure throwing shit at people isn't legal.
Not in Pokemon battles it is.
Also, never play Sekiro.
What's Sekiro?
You don't wanna know.
Yeah.
Remember, this was 2000. Yeah, there was
Okay, well, okay, don't think it happens, but I guess the equivalent will still be stuff like Tenchu, which was around this time.
And we're done.
Watch bomb away. Yes, it's a hit.
Why you?
Why Iota?
Why I?
Hey, now let's not commit any murders.
Oh, great! Our last trainer doesn't even have a name.
The trainer with no
Enemy
name.
lost. Unbelievable.
Amy
We will
speaks
see
in the
stuff
third
about it in the third
person.
person.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
When there are 2 taps, you'll end up with more weight points.
You earned that win by maximally exploiting type matchup advantages. Beautiful.
Why do you think so?
Alright, you can be this guy.
Okay, youngster. I use only fly and dig. I won't use anything else. Can you overcome?
Really? That's your strategy? Just use fly and dig non-stop. That's your strategy.
I mean, I guess he could win against, us lacking, but they were not present yet. Fly and dig are gonna knock you out of your socks, dude.
Alright,
Oh,
so,
yes, a Dragonite.
yes.
Nice.
Well, remember, Tail, these
It's
Pokemon...
level 55.
Well, remember, Tail, all these Pokemon were given to him by Earl, so... Earl must have like a huge collection of Pokemon that he saves specifically for these skill tests. Alright, so... Another of Earthquake, Porygon of Psychic... We also have an Hitmonchan, yeah. And Magneton has a Lock-On and Zap Cannon, which is a good, because it should work fine. So yeah, the basic gist of it is that, as you know, Fly and Dig are 2-turn moves, meaning we have to get a good team that
Some moves, as Earl mentioned, some moves do bypass, the fact that the Pokemon is flying or underground, like Earthquake.
yeah. Not to mention, there's also Magneton's Lock-On, meaning if you lock onto an enemy, your next hit will hit the opponent regardless of circumstances. So.
This is the battle between the students of Earl's Pokémon Academy. The students begin battle with dreams of becoming respected Pokémon trainers.
Oh, speaking of it, there it is, Dragonite.
Go, go!
Lovely.
Alright, Earthquake is not going to do anything against Dragonite, so we need to change to Seadra.
Combatants face each other. Switching Pokémon. That Pokémon must not have been the right choice. Oh, it's Seadra! Whoa, it flew up high! What impact would
got
this
it.
Pokémon switch have on
So
the battle?
awkward to see Dragonite flying with those tiny wings.
And yeah, Twister is a move that deals double damage when the enemy is in flight. So
A furious attack! Hit! That inflicted some damage. A hot battle is
again, like I said, when it comes to trying to get into Pokemon in the late 90s, early 2000s, Pokémon Stadium 2's Earl's Pokemon Academy was a very good way to go about it, because not only do you read about it, you do an actual written test, and you even practice actual proper strategies in these skill tests. So it is a good way for a kid who's just getting into Pokemon to learn the ins and outs. There you go.
that's a hit. Down it goes.
Theo?
No, 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 no!
Here, next.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, it's Skarmory.
Here's Camry!
Alright, Skarmory, so...
Oh, so Pokemon has their own take on the room. I mean, sorry, it's just Shining.
Sure.
Well, might as well carry on with Twister since he's gonna use Fly.
That didn't accomplish much.
Well, to be fair, yeah, it's still type.
It is still tap, but like Earl has taught us, sometimes changing a Pokemon can,
Death sentence, yes.
because you waste a turn, so might as well keep going until Seadra gets knocked out.
What's next? Hit. That was good. capable of going up.
I actually have to wonder why, if they had like anything in front of Ted when he recorded these lines, or if he was just reading a script and that's it. Because, you know, like I actually wonder if the voice writer described the moves at the very least, if he didn't have any visual aids when recording this.
Pokemon needs to be prepared.
All right, next up we'll go with Magneton.
Pokemon have been chosen. Oh, it's Magneton.
You sound so surprised.
Sparks are flying.
Magneton looks so tiny with this preview, aren't there? I know that it's
Canonically,
basically, again,
it is pretty
it
tiny.
is just three Magnemite stack on each other, but I remember in later gens they kind of, you know, augmented a bit its size.
Alright, like I said, since I locked on, Zap Cannon will now hit regardless of circumstances.
And that one actually is super effective.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it has no strength left.
I guess FT stands
Gee,
for fated.
No.
Gee, it's like your strategy is moronic or something.
Oh, it's Sudowoodo. This is the last Pokemon.
Alright, Sudowoodo.
The white hot battle continues.
I was trying to see if maybe Magneton would be faster, but apparently not.
How's that? Oh,
Alright, at this point might as well switch to Aerodactyl.
fighting tough.
There you go. Yeah, sorry my dude, you really need to rethink your battle strategy.
But wait, let me tell you about my top percentage Rattata!
What now?
What do you think of
dig
Storm?
underground.
Alright,
Shit!
Earthquake deals double damage in enemies that are underground, so we're pretty much all set.
Oh,
Yes,
but
yes.
here first, the youngster thinks shorts are shit.
To attack from under the ground. It's a fierce battle. What'll it do?
That.
There we go. How
Yeah,
would
my
just teleport, so just for the
Yeah.
painting animation.
And there goes the battle.
Alright.
Like the gun sound effect.
An attempt was made.
Well, I did lose, but I Dustin gained some valuable experience.
What is with people introducing themselves in
Moves
weird
that hit
fashions
while
at
I'm
the
using
school?
Flying Dig. I never knew. No one ever told me about them.
You probably didn't pay attention in Earl's class then. Use your Pokemon's moves strategy to earn the win.
No. Plot twist. We're the only student that Earl actually teaches anything just so that he can humiliate his other students.
Oh boy, no.
Okay, so Schoolboy Nolan, Pokemon with high special defense stats, and that's his strategy.
Also uses augment stat.
Mhm.
So I guess the gist is that you
Ah,
use
special
physical
defense is
attack
secure. Light screen, we've got it. Again, like Earl taught us.
God, I'm Blissey.
Like Earl taught us, Blissey may be a special defense tank, but his defense is shit. So this battle is all about physical moves.
It was still before also. Well, yeah, it kind of started with Gen 4 that made Blissey, you know, even more of a tank than it already was. And combined with the fact that in Gen 4, the reducing animation for HP goes extremely slow, taking down one of those fuckers took forever.
Alright, headbutt and light screen. Okay, we'll go Staria, Mr. Mime, and Jinx. Actually, never mind.
Yeah. You know what? Jinx sucks. We're going with this other Pokemon.
Well, remember this, like I said, his specialty is special defense, meaning we need to go in with physical moves. So, yeah, I was trying to see if maybe I could, but no. All the other 3 Pokemon have only special attacks, so it's not going to be useful for us at all. Alright, go Jinx.
Becoming respected Pokemon.
And this is purple skin Jinx, after the initial controversy, of course.
They go into battle mode.
There you go, light screen.
It's better protected against special attacks. There it goes.
Haha.
God.
Well, now that he's paralyzed,
Get hurt.
his speed now decreases, meaning I attack first. Haha.
God, no TOR kiss isn't in this game.
I was, yeah. Well, I was more like the pet. Imagine, you know, someone in jeans like propelling like that with body slam towards you. Last thing you see.
Toxic.
Difference between the two combatants.
Alright. And Elekid goes down for the count.
Right, that's a hit. Oh, oh.
Ay.
I prefer Magnemite anyway.
Now. Oh, it's Blissey.
It has to be Blissey. There he is too. Or there she is, rather.
God, those fat 351 HP.
They prepare for
Well, Blissey's maximum HP at level 100 is like 650, I think. I forgot the exact number. It's over 600 HP. She's the Pokemon that has the most HP in Gen 2. But again, her defense is shit. So just keep using physical moves and you'll be fine. And as you can see, Blissey's attack move is not exactly effective against us. So,
Yeah, because Jinx is part psychic type.
although it does decrease my special defense. So, oh, there you go.
that was good.
So interesting. Pokemon is supposed to be a representation of the Valkyrie from, you know, Norse mythology. And so the ice type makes sense, but the psychic one feels kind of out of nowhere.
The hit. Oh, we have no strength left.
What kind of defeated quote is that?
I don't know.
It's screaming.
I learned that I should go with Chansey. Blissey didn't work. What makes you think Chansey will work?
Because it has an egg.
Psychic.
He also had one.
Oh, it's got a bigger egg.
Accomplish much.
Okay, let's just carry on.
A furious attack. That's it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Didn't think about physical defense, did you, my dude?
Sparks are flying from both competitors.
Well, it's okay. We still have 2 more Pokemon to use. We're fine.
Oh, fuck.
Hit. Oh,
Yeah, it's a good job. It's a good job. This doesn't have like a failed condition where if one of your Pokemon fails, that's it. You lose the whole battle.
oh. Okay.
Why would it be like that to begin with?
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. Like a Jeopardy Pokemon battle,
The White Hawk battle continues.
where you have to choose one Pokemon and you can switch them out as like in any other battle and use potion. But when one faints, that's it. The whole battle is lost.
Headbutt. There we go.
Great hit.
And so the creepiest Pokemon ever wins the fight.
There goes the battle.
Mr. Mime. Alright. There you go. We won. I haven't been taught that yet. Oh, so you haven't been taught about the difference between physical and special defenses yet?
You know, this Pokemon stuff, it's not really for you, Lola. Maybe you should try cinematography instead.
Again, I really just get the feeling that Earl's only been teaching us just so we can humiliate these kids, which will then bring them running to him for knowledge.
I love watching
It's a
children.
simplistic but efficient way to get them to want to
Yahoo!
learn.
You did it! You defeated all your opponents. Congratulations! I love watching children crying after defeat. It amuses me.
Give up.
Give up!
I get the feeling that was probably.
We give up.
I get the feeling that was a mistranslation.
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
surprised
give
that
up.
that's
Give
not a
up. Why should we
meme.
give up?
Like, is it a British term as a synonymous of I don't believe it, something like give over or something?
You may now study other in a higher class. So yeah, we got the Pikachu medal for completing Gym Leader class. Now we have the top tier class, Elite 4 class, of course. So in the next part, everybody will start the Elite 4 class. So see you then.
Alright, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.